Time now for your forewarned weather with Garrett James.
I have not seen that in person, but my heart stopped just watching it in video.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. They have to time it just right, or they'll hit the rocks. So it's seat of your pants down there.
Garrett, I don't take risks like that. You?
See, no, I do take risk from time to time. However, if it has to do with heights, no, not at all. Not a big heights guy, even though somehow I was able to do Angel's Landing. But that's a story for another time. Story right now that we're tracking is a little bit of precipitation out there. We can see around San Juan and Grand counties there is just a little bit of a wintry mix out that direction, especially in the upper elevations. However, as it gets a little bit closer to the valleys, well, that's when it starts to transition over into just a lighter rain at the present time. But we can actually see on the radar, it's hard to see, but there is still a couple lightning strikes embedded in these. So some places still seeing a couple of thunderstorms at the moment, but we will be looking at these slowly tapering off. We can see our futurecast by the remainder of the evening. We'll be looking at this slowly going away. Take a look at 4 o'clock in the morning. A little bit of cloud cover, but all of that is slow to taper off, and then by the time we get to the afternoon, we're going to be looking at that high pressure building in, and as that does so, we'll be looking at generally clear skies, except with that high pressure, we're going to be looking at the inversions in northern Utah starting to build back in, so smog going to be present likely for the remainder of the week. However, once we see that high pressure start to taper off, it's not going to be taking place likely until we get to the beginning of next week. Let's go ahead and take a look at that upper level futurecast. It shows that low pressure just off to our south, but that high pressure builds in quickly, and that is actually going to help improve conditions if you do want to try and see any of those meteors by tomorrow. But notice looming off the west coast, there is another low pressure system. That's what could potentially change our next round of cooler temperatures. But for right now, looks like we're just going to be looking at temperatures trying to stay maybe in the 40s for the Salt Lake City area and for the Wasatch Front. However, it looks to me as if for southern Utah, temperatures are going to try to stay in the mid to low 60s. However, it's only going to be in the valleys that temperatures try and climb that high. But as of right now, temperatures are staying in the 30s all across the Beehive State. In fact, overnight tonight, we're going to be looking at lows falling down into the teens, at least for a couple of places, especially for Ely, and even going into Elko. Temperatures look to be just on that cooler side of things. But we will be looking at high pressure, like I said, building back in. I'll have a look at the 7-day forecast coming up closer to the end of the show. Sending it back over to you guys.
Garrett, we thank you.